Hello, welcome to Racism Against Black Women. I am your host, Michelle Hope Walker. It's my show and host and everything. So let me date this. So today is January 23rd, 2022. January 23rd, 2022. Sunday. All right, so racism against black women. Basically, because there is so much racism against black women, it renders its own show so that we can daily deal with it. Because we as black women daily deal with it, that I felt like it needed a talked about more than just the times that I talk about it. Which you all know, I tend to talk about race a lot. Especially racism against black people overall, and then especially black women, with me being a black woman and I know what I experience on a day-by-day basis and at different times. And so I think it's very important to discuss because it's killing black women, medically it's killing black women. When black women go to the doctors or the ER, and they are so much concerned, one, on if they're homeless, or if they're on drugs, or they go negative on the black woman, everything negative. They don't just assume that she's been taking care of herself and doing real good on her health, and she just happened to get sick, because that's just what happens. Normal people, that's what we do. We do everything we can, and sometimes we just get sick, and it's okay. And with other races, sometimes when they go to the ER, that's assumed, but sometimes when black women go to the ER at hospitals, I'm talking about emergency room departments, it's almost like they get blamed for being sick, like you must have done something to yourself. And that's if, especially in the bigger cities, that's if you can make it past the point of them trying to figure out if you're homeless or not, and that part always gets me, because rather if you're homeless or not, they still supposed to be treating you. But I know I hear in LA and maybe in some cities too, that a lot of times the hospitals get very particular wanting to know if a person is homeless or not. It's because it's something about that. If the person is sick and if the person is homeless, they can't just release the person back out on the street. And so I don't know if they then try to not see that patient. It's some trickery to it. It's some trick, especially out here in LA. They were doing patient dumping, where literally hospitals were dumping people out on the street in their gowns and in a wheelchair, or just in the gown on the street. And a lot of them was black people. It's a lot that we have to. Now, again, for some of you all that live in these small little towns, bless your heart, because I know sometimes you're like, oh, sure, talking about racism. Bless your heart. Because here's the dynamics of the small town. The dynamics of the small town is that a lot of times everybody knows everybody. So with everybody pretty much knowing everybody, and sometimes you might even everybody get along, the many different races that are there. A lot of times not a lot of different races there in a small town, but even if it is, people know everybody, and you're rarely running into people that you just never seen before. So a lot of time, this racism that you hear me talk about, I'd like to say it's more of in bigger cities, like in LA, and you may experience it in New York and Chicago or Atlanta, or some other places, but again, you can also experience it in little towns and everywhere, basically. Especially with us black women, and again, a lot of times we talk about this totem pole. Now, I didn't make up the totem pole. So for some of you all that want to sit and be like, don't get mad at the messenger. Look, I'm dealing with the racism every day myself. So don't get mad. And I'm also, as y'all know, personality, comedian, rapper, singer, and everything. So I give this to you all as who I am. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm just a messenger. I have to deal with racism as a black woman every day out here in LA. Okay, don't get me wrong, I love LA. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even just here in LA. Even when I travel, airports and just so it's not even just here. So I know it happens. All kind of places. You know what I'm saying? Even AI, they say, is racist. Like, how in the world can AI be racist? But if you can watch, was that Cold Something? It was a black woman done that film and talked about how, certain things that are racist even within the technology. It's like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so this totem pole that I did not make, but especially our American society did, where they put the rich white man up at top and they put the black woman, especially if you poor and low and ain't got no money, all the way down the bottom. A real black woman at the bottom, and then within the bottom of the black woman, then they even got totem poles up in there. Within we got totem poles within our black women sector, black women. Now, when I say that, that's not putting us down. I love myself. We love ourselves. We know who we are. But I say that to say and to help explain the racism and why we get mistreated at times, because we're not as valued as the top of the totem pole, the rich white man. So therefore, at times, they will treat us anyhow, how they want to treat us at times. We just, so that's why I like to explain that one to you. Try customer service. Let the rich white man go in front of you and you will hear them call him sir and be accommodating to him and try to help him whatever way. You black woman come up to the counter. You'll be lucky if they say, can I help you? Sometimes they just look at you like, I'll be like, well, because you just watched the good customer service that this white man just got. You know what I'm saying? And so you're like, well, what happened to the customer service stop after he... Oh, so I do comedy and music all about it. But today, one of the key things I want to dive into, too, is talking about came to my spirit. And I got the thing, you all know I'm a Christian. So I serve God, different things like that. And I'm an evangelist, so a lot of stuff comes to my spirit in the name of Jesus. When I say that, I'm talking about God. I feel like God put it in my spirit. The Holy Spirit put it in my spirit. And that is light-skinned black women, or white women now, as we see, or a lot of other races now, as we see, raising brown-skinned girls. And the importance for these light-skinned women, or these women of other nationalities than black, to make sure that excuse me, I've been sick. Read books or something about your brown-skinned girl, because your brown-skinned girl may go through some things because of the color of her skin that you did not go through. Because we also know, in relation to racism, especially when it comes to blacks, that sometimes the lighter you are, the better you get treated. So when you talk about black women, sometimes the lighter the black women are, that they, blend more into the color of white people, or more just lighter, that sometimes they can get treated better. People will treat them better. I'm not saying that's right, because it's not right. We all, really, no matter what the shade of our skin, should be treated right. That's the bigger picture. So I know for some of you all, I know. I'm saying the same thing you saying, but again, we got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And so, but my key thing is, parents, watch that. Watch that with the schools, because they also talk about how in the grade schools, and how especially the brown-skinned girls or the darker black girls tend to be the ones that get in trouble for fighting and arguing, where sometimes the racists, the non-black girls, because they were keeping up all kind of mess, or light-skinned black girls may not get as much trouble as the brown-skinned girls or the darker complected girls. So we need to talk about that. You need to be aware of that with your kids. And you need to, that's why I'm always leery, especially when it comes to these schools, when parents just, when the teachers say, well, your kid did it, and the parents just go drilling in on their kid. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? What happened? Listen to your kid. Let your kid explain their version, what happened. And then maybe you need to go up to the school and find out from the teacher, now, what are you saying happened? And then make sure you represent for your child if your child is telling you that They been telling this teacher that this particular child was messing with them, but the teacher never has been doing anything. But then as soon as your brown-skinned girl stand up for herself from this non-black girl messing with her, or maybe a lighter-skinned black girl messing with her, now all of a sudden your brown-skinned girl gets in trouble. So you have to watch that. And it's very sad because sometimes teachers and staff, a lot of people aren't trained in diversity or trained. It's not even, I always have to watch that word diversity, because when you do diversity, a lot of that does not mean black. I don't know what they've done. So I'm not trained on dealing with black people. It's like to say the full word: black people, black women, black girls. And they don't even realize that they're being racist. Because again, you got to remember, in society, this white supremacist mindset that even came all the way from slavery of the lighter the better. The lighter means they act better. They do. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's what they have drilled in people's heads. So then you got people that watch the kids outside at lunch. You have the teachers. You have different people that when they see some kids tussling or rustling, they just assume it's the darker skinned black girls. And then someone may even go to the point of acting like it's the darker skinned black girls, trying to say they jealous of the light girls. Now, don't get me wrong now. Along with me trying to remind light-skinned mothers and non-black mothers of brown-skinned girls to be aware of this. Also, you just need to be aware of whatever skin color of a black girl that you have. I've been blessed to have kids of all kind of different shades, and I talk to them about different. I've had to defend each one of them for different ones, because sometimes you will have different ones jump on your child because they are light-skinned. And then you will have ones jump on your child because they're brown-skinned. And then you will have, you know what I'm saying? And then they both can get in trouble for different stuff, And so, and the sad part to this is, again, I've gone to college and I read and I've been a part of groups and I've studied. So, a lot of information I have, the average person is just not knowing this. And then unfortunately sometimes, because y'all know me, I'm an educator, I go, of course I'm taught school and different things like that. But so sometimes I will try to educate people, but then I learn that people do not want to be educated on racism. That's not they. When you're trying to tell them, well, do you see here? This is an example of it. Seems like you did. They do not want to hear that. They don't. They don't. But again, we're talking about what you're doing in your household and how you're doing with your kids. So you do have some power in a hand in that, and making sure that your brown-skinned girl treat you right, your light-skinned girl treat you right, whatever color your black girl is being treated right. And that they are not being mistreated in relation to race and their color. Now, for some of you parents that just continue to wonder, well, no, it has nothing to do with color. Boogie, I mean, and I hate her because I don't know when she said this, she wanted us to constantly repeat and said I won't even say her name, but it was a certain celebrity. And so right, she said color always got something to do with it, baby. Color always. Color always. And I thought about what she said, and I've seen it in so many cases sometimes on why they treated one person one way and one person. Now, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. And thank God that sometimes you will see cases where there was fairness. Where there was fairness. I remember one time I did a video. I don't care if y'all like Donald Trump or not, but I did a video on Donald Trump because I didn't watch The Apprentice all the time, but I happened to flipping through channels and seeing it this day. And the white girls pretty much was, what was this? What was it? Kenya. Kenya. It was Kenya Moore. Was trying to make it seem like that I guess Kenya was doing something to them, but they was actually doing something to Kenya, something of the sort. And I began to love Donald Trump when I seen that Donald Trump seen through that. And he didn't fall for it. He seen that was them girls messing with Kenya. And if you didn't know, the Princess Kenya is black. And also Kenya's been on the Real Housewives of, but this again was years ago, on the Apprentice show, Donald Trump show. But anyway, so I like that. I was like, finally, because we just always figure we know how it's going to end, because all it takes is people of women of another race saying that the black woman done something to them, and then all of a sudden people start, getting on the black woman and accusing the black woman of doing something, to the non-black woman. When the whole time, the truth be told, sometimes it was the non-black women messing with the black woman. But as soon as the black woman opens her mouth is when all of a sudden, then they get on the black woman. So I just thought about that. So that's just one of the key things I just want to, remind you all is protect our black girls. Especially right now, as school is coming back in session, and some people are in person. Our black girls are at the school, and they trying to learn and have fun and do what they do, just like all other kids. But sadly, sometimes when our black girls are doing the same thing that the other girls are doing, except those girls aren't black, our black girls get mistreated for it. Well, that's not right. They're kids. They're little kids. They don't even really know nothing about race. But that adult does. And the point that adult is mistreating that black girl as if already at an early age they're telling that black girl, you can't do what these kids do. You're a black girl. Ooh, how dare you? No, that teacher is supposed to be motivating that black girl and allowing that black girl to be in an environment that she can have fun with all the other kids that aren't black and be who she is and everything. There are no limits to her because she's a black girl. And that starts with the adults that are around that black girl. So that's why mothers, you have to make sure if you're a light-skinned black mother, you might need to read some books on raising brown-skinned girls or dark-skinned girls. There's enough books out there now. Or if nothing else, you need to be aware and to make sure that your child is being treated right at school. Other places you go to, Wise, Boys and Girls, wherever you all go, you always want to make sure that your child is being treated right. And if you have multiple kids, because sometimes you have multiple kids, like I said, like I have, they're all different shades. You want to make sure that people are treating all of them right. You're not going to treat my light-skinned kids better than you treat my brown-skinned kids. You're not going to treat my brown-skinned kids better than you treat my light-skinned kids. You know what I'm saying? You're going to treat everybody right because everybody is valuable. All my kids are valuable. All my kids are worthy. Now, I'm the type of mother that I have the conversations of, race with my kids ever since they were little. I always let them know that, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're intelligent, regardless of your color. And your color is a plus and you love your color. Because that's the thing, too. When we talk about race, some people don't like to talk about race because they feel like it's putting themselves down. That's not putting yourself down. That's building yourself up. You love who you are. We love who we are as black women. But there are some other people that do not love us. There are some other people that literally hate us because we are Black women. Sojourner Truth talked about that. The most hated person in the world is a Black woman. And then the more I hear people talk about that, because they're talking about, first of all, women alone got to deal with a lot of stuff. Women of all races right now still have challenges. And then on top of that, now we're a Black woman. When in our society, they still totally haven't accepted Black people. They just did a thing where, what is it? Oh my God, what's that Republican that just talked about, he talked about Americans, and then he talked about African Americans. It's like, well, hold up, we Americans. Duh. And he tried to retract that back and said, well, no, that's not what I meant to. That's why sometimes I just listen to what a person say, because they telling you what they thinking. They telling you what they thinking and what they saying. Out the abundance of your heart is what comes out your mouth. So then you're a woman, and then you're a Black woman. So you're dealing with the double whammy. But we love ourselves. And we have to make sure that we nurture our Black girls. That we let them know they're beautiful. That we keep it real with them and let them know that sometimes they may face different things because of the color of their skin and because of their gender. But that cannot stop them. But I am a true believer that we ought to be aware of some things. When I walk down the street in my neighborhood that I've been living in for about 12 years, I still get helicopters flying all of a sudden around me, police driving by a little bit more and slower. I mean, you would think that they've gotten used to me. Because, I have a car, but I'm one that I will walk and catch buses and trains and stuff. Well, I mean, right now in these times and areas, I'm doing more driving. But in my neighborhood, I just walk. Walk to the store, walk to, because walking is good exercise. And a lot of times, because I've asthma and different things like that. And plus, I'm just one that I try to take my whole house with me a lot of times when I leave. So I have me a couple bags on me when I'm walking down the street. So all kind of races have all kind of bags. All kind of non-Black people, everybody down the street walk with some type of bag on them or a couple of bags. The police is not surrounding them, not looking at them like they're homeless, like something's wrong with them. So, I'm aware of, here we go, Black woman walking down. But I still walk down my street. I still walk and go to where I want to go and do what I need to do. Now, it does have me keep certain information on me for just in case I need to prove stuff, which, sometimes it's just like, my gosh, this is almost like slavery days. Like, you got to keep slave papers on you to show, no, I'm not homeless. I have a home. Keep my rent receipt on me. I have asthma. So that's why I got these puffers. I keep doctor notes on me, But, and just et cetera. I can go on down the list. You know what I'm saying? Now, I should not have to do that. But it can go either way. I cannot do that. And then a cop just stop you all of a sudden. You ain't have no proof or nothing. So then what they do, they take you to jail. They find you, and all that could have been avoided, hopefully. Because sometimes you give all the information and they just won't even read it. And they can pin anything on you that they might just want to pin on you. And it's sad. But you should hope if you have information on you that it should somewhat help for you. I've been places where literally somebody accused me of doing something. And, thank God for the boldness and God in me. And plus I had all my papers on me. So I'm like, I got all kinds of stuff to prove why I ain't Boogieville. He had talking about some footage. I was like, okay, well, we'll go look at the footage, and then he still, because this was another race guy, wasn't Black. So then I asked if the Black guy could go look at it. The Black guy clearly came out and said, this is not her. Hallelujah for the black guy being out there, the black officer security being out there. They about to get me caught up on something that wasn't even me. And the guy, officer trying to keep that, he didn't even care that it wasn't. He was just trying to, because he really just really approached him with, come on back here, with guns and everything. I'm like, no. There's no reason why I need to come back to a room with you, all these guns. No. So again, you just got to be aware and know your rights. So I know for some of you that, you want to ignore it. You want to just act like it don't exist until it happens to you or happens to your family member. But don't wait till then. Just be aware. Again, but like I tell you all, it does not stop us from living. We still going to accomplish our goals and dreams, and we got God, so God loves us. So God is right there with us. We stay prayed up. Can't nobody, as Bill Winston, I love Bill Winston, can't nobody stop us from doing what God gonna have us do, regardless of what color the skin is, regardless of racism, anything else. So God is good. But I'm just saying, don't be afraid to be aware of different things. And most definitely protect our black girls. Protect parents. Protect your black girl. When somebody accuses your black girl of something, don't be so quick to chime in. Oh, yeah, she probably did it and this and that and that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Plus, your daughter is listening to that. Nobody is perfect. You're not perfect. So don't be that heavy-handed with words on her like that. Because she going to already have to deal with a lot. Your black girl is dealing with a lot every day, all day. Now, she's a little girl, so she don't know how to put it into words. Or why maybe some of the girls won't come sit next to her at lunchtime. Or whatever the case of different things that go on throughout her day. So today, it's just about the black girl. Please take care of our black girls. And if you work around black girls at your school, please be fair with them. Don't let people pick on the black girl and you don't never say nothing, but then as soon as the black girl stand up for herself, now you got the black girl in the principal office. You didn't let everybody pick on this black girl. Don't do that. That's mean. All right, y'all. I'm your girl, Michelle Hope Walker. I'm a black woman. Yes. Happy to be a black woman. Beautiful black woman. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All right, y'all. But we're going to be all right. But it's okay for us to talk about these things. We got to talk about them. Because it saves lives. It saves lives for us to talk about it. And that's what I'm about. Is saving black women. Saving black women. I'm about saving everybody, but this show is about black women. And I'm a black woman. And I know what we go through. Well, at least I can tell you the things I'm going through. But not even just things I'm going through, because actually I don't just pull off of me. I pull off of the other things that I've seen and different things, that I just see going about. So it's not just my life experiences, but, all of us, different ones are going through. But again, we are happy. We gonna get it. Can't nobody stop us from getting. I like to make sure I leave y'all with some motivation. We are beautiful. We are black. We love our hair. No matter how you have it. I have my hair natural, but you got a weave set in or some braids added with hair or whatever you doing. Do you, boo? Love yourself. And no matter what they try to do to stop us or belittle us, we still gonna rise. What Maya Angelou say, I rise. I rise. I rise. And then she talk about how our hips move. Because see, they be jealous of us. Some of them be jealous of us. That's why they try to put us down. They try to put us down, but then they run out and try to be us. And again, for all other people watching, this is not against anything about other races. This is just about motivating and encouraging black women, encouraging black women. And also talking about racism against black women. So it's sort of like a twofold show. But anyway, I'm your girl, Michelle Hope Walker, and you have been watching Racism Against Black Women. When will it stop? Well, we're going to talk about it. All right then. God bless. I'm your girl, Michelle Hope Walker.